Welcome to the Garden in the Kitchen cooking show. I am Chef Silvia Dunnirvine from gardeninthekitchen.com, and this is my friend Anne.
Hi, nice to meet everybody. If you're new to us, welcome, and if you're a regular, welcome back.
Great. This is spring of 2024, and I have a delicious spring recipe to prepare for us today. Are you excited?
I am. I'm always excited to be here. This looks lovely as usual. Tell us what we're going to be making.
Today we're making a Dutch pancake. Some call it Dutch Baby Pancake. Essentially, it's a pancake that's baked in the oven as opposed to on stovetop.
Interesting.
Yes, but it's delicious.
Okay.
And it's so fun to make, and I think it's like, pancakes are awesome, right? But sometimes you need something a little different. This is a great brunch idea.
Okay.
And I'm excited to share.
Excellent.
Ready?
You want to take us through some ingredients first off?
Yes, of course. So the base of the recipe is eggs, flour, milk. And I do add a little spinach because if you know me, I like to add some veggies to the mix. I think it's fun, and it also, another way to eat a little bit of greens. But of course, if you don't like spinach, you can just remove it. That's the base, and then we'll bake the pancake as is for I think 13 to 14 minutes. At 425, so a very high temperature. The idea, what we want to see at that point is the pancakes really fluffing up. And then we'll add some cheese and the tomatoes at that point, bake for another 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it, it's done, and we can add whatever toppings we like. In this case, we have feta, excuse me, bacon, feta cheese. Obviously, you want to top it with a nice layer of maple syrup. I've got berries over here, so it's really good.
Got the whole mix. No choices here, just put it all in.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get started. So the first thing to do is we are actually preheating the cast iron because it needs to be really hot when the eggs go in. So we preheat the cast iron as we preheat the oven. I just turned the oven on, so we're gonna do this real quick and add in the oil, which is just about a tablespoon. And we're just gonna brush it all over the bottom of our cast iron, including the sides, because the pancake will fluff up.
You want it to rise.
Yes, so get it nice and coated here on the sides.
Okay.
With about a tablespoon of olive oil.
Which is great to season the pan at the same time.
Yes. Cast iron pan, you season with olive oil and then you put it in the oven. It's even better. So we're doing two things at once.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is going in the oven. 425 degrees. And then we'll move on to make the base.
Okay.
Ready? Okay.
I am ready. I'm going to see how you crack the eggs because everybody has their own system.
I don't have any professional looking way of cracking the eggs.
Okay.
It's just very simple, nothing fancy, just...
In they go.
Yeah, try to catch it so the mess
these ones out.
A little less. Okay. Thank you.
You can put the shell in here if you want to.
Easier. Thank
Perfect.
you. Here's our third egg.
Let's bring that over.
Thank you.
So that it doesn't leak on our nice fresh vegetables.
So we'll get this going real quick. Next we'll add flour, milk, and then the spinach. So let's just go with the milk for now. This is half a cup of milk. So 3 eggs, half a cup of milk. I'm using regular milk. Of course, you can use almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, whichever milk you prefer.
Okay, good.
So a half a cup. This is looking good. Now, a half a cup of flour. I am using gluten-free flour.
Okay.
But then again, it's whatever choice you prefer. Okay, so a half a cup in. We're gonna season this with salt and pepper. As you can see, really easy. Really easy.
There's quite a lot of base there. So what size pan should people be looking to use?
Just a cast iron.
Just
Your
cast iron, so it doesn't matter
skillet.
how wide or...
The standard, I would say.
Okay.
Your standard cast iron. Now, if you're making for a large amount of people, and if you have like a bigger cast iron, that would be ideal. Then you, in this case, you would do 5 eggs.
Okay. And could you use stoneware if you don't have cast iron? Would that work just the same?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You can obviously make sure it's oven safe.
Yes.
And we are cooking at very high temperature. Yeah, that's the only thing. So we'll put this aside for a second while we chop up our beautiful spinach.
Okay.
It is spinach season, so I really try to, when I'm cooking, making recipes for the blog, use seasonal ingredients.
Good.
Look how beautiful, it's just so pretty. I don't love the bag spinach. I think it kind of goes bad.
It goes bad
really
very quickly.
Very quickly. So I get super excited this time of year to cook with spinach. Asparagus. What about you, Ann?
I like the spinach. Less keen on asparagus, but I will eat it if it's on my plate. Yeah, but I do enjoy, especially the CSA, the shares that you can get locally. There's so many farms nearby. We're spoiled for that local produce.
Absolutely, it is nice. So spinach is going in right now. I think the recipe calls for 1 cup of spinach.
You can just eyeball it though.
Exactly. Yes. Can you pass me the salt and pepper in, please?
There we are.
Thank you. So we'll mix all of this in.
So it's starting to thicken up already, that
base? It is, yes. But as you can see, it's still pretty liquidy, even more so than a pancake, wouldn't you say? So this is what you're looking for as far as consistency. And then we're gonna season with salt and pepper. Sometimes people like to add just a little teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It will be great. I just want to keep it simple.
Okay.
I have added before. It's good too.
Good.
Okie dokie. So this is ready to go. I believe I heard the oven.
I heard it beep.
That means that the skillet is nice and hot. So we're going to grab that and pour that in real quick and back in the oven.
Straight back in. Okay.
Yes.
Because we want to retain all that heat, which is why the cast iron is great, because it holds the heat.
Exactly. So let's do this real quick and carefully, because that skillet is very hot. Maintain the heat, close the oven. This goes in.
And just enough oil, you can just see that that's lining the bottom, but it's not swimming. You've not got a little reservoir of the oil in there.
Correct.
So if you did overdo it on the oil, would you just sponge some out with a piece of kitchen towel?
You can, or pour some out, or sponge it out.
Okay.
Yeah, get rid of it. There's no need for that extra layer of, So that's going in. This is what it looks like.
Looks great, and it fits perfectly.
Yes. Okay. This is going in, and I'm gonna set the timer for 13 to 15 minutes. I would keep an eye around 12 minutes. Every oven is a little bit different.
Of course.
So as soon as we have that ready, we'll be back to continue on the show. So we've cooked our Dutch pancake for about 13 minutes now. We're gonna pull it out of the oven, add the toppings, and cook for an additional 5 minutes. So let's get moving.
Let's see what's happened. Oh, beautiful.
It's up, the sides are up, and it's nice and fluffy. Now this is going to slowly go back down, but we're just gonna move real quick. I have about, thank you, Ann. I have about half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of shredded cheese. I'm using cheddar cheese. You can use mozzarella or whichever kind you like. Just get it all over on top. And I'm adding these beautiful tomatoes because we are making a savory Dutch baby pancake.
So we're leaving them on the vine as well?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
For the looks.
It looks beautiful.
We're not eating the vine, but we're leaving it for the looks.
Absolutely.
So back in the oven, just enough so the cheese will melt. Just enough so the cheese will melt.
Yep.
And the tomatoes will blister a little bit. And then we'll add our toppings and eat.
Okay.
Your favorite part.
I know, my favorite part. So you don't pierce the tomatoes first. You just allow
There's
them to
no need.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So that you're not going to get any bursts or anything.
No, they will cook nicely.
Okay.
And I usually leave for about 3 to 5 minutes,
Okay.
and then you'll see the tomatoes is perfect cooked and blistering, and it's just so
doing
yummy.
what they should be doing. So on to our toppings.
So for the toppings, I've cooked ahead 3 slices of bacon, and I chopped it too. I like to cook my bacon in the air fryer, so it's not a big mess on my stove. So 3 slices, and you just chop it down.
Okay.
I have feta cheese. I like to also add berries on top of mine. And with this said, I want to mention that you can make sweet Dutch Baby Pancake. I'm making a savory recipe, but you can add sweet toppings like berries and finish with confectionate sugar, the powdered sugar. And that's delicious too. Very popular.
Okay.
Something to try.
And maple syrup, obviously.
Yes, so I have some maple syrup right here, and that's how we serve a Dutch pancake.
Okay, how did you come across this? How did you determine the recipe?
It's a very popular recipe, so I didn't create the recipe, but I tended to look for recipes that use seasonal ingredients like I mentioned.
Yes.
So I think mine, I added spinach. I think you mostly see without spinach, without the greens, just really the dough, the egg and flour mixture. Yes. So when I'm searching for a recipe, I'm looking for something that's seasonal. And right now, I think we all want to see colors.
Yes.
And berries and whatever is the fresh produce. So spinach, in this case, I also made asparagus quiche.
Okay.
Another seasonal dish. It was so good, so good. Beautiful too, perfect for a breakfast.
And similar base, just cooked differently.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like an egg casserole, and you can really eat that for lunch, even dinner. It's just so filling and yummy. So
great.
That's how I find my recipes.
Very good. Yes. I'm always intrigued with how you come up with all these different flavor combinations, and I know that your attention to the seasonal foods and to the nutritious but simple for a family to just throw together. No, get the kids involved. No kind of major preparation, and you can substitute. This is what I love about everything that you do.
Yeah, the base is not as flexible, I would say. You do need the eggs and milk and flour, but flexible enough that you can use whatever milk you like, whatever flour you like, and add something green to it. You could add bacon at that point.
Okay.
Something else, like even asparagus if you chop it really small. So you can change it up a little bit. I do like having options and give you guys options. And
you would cook the bacon first before it goes into that base as well?
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. The bacon will need to be fully cooked before you add into the batter at that point. But I do think our Dutch pancake should be ready. I see that the cheese has melted. Let's check it out.
Okay. Oh yes, perfect.
It is beautiful. The cheese has melted. Now this is gonna start to come down a little bit.
Okay.
It's normal, it's gonna happen. And this is when we add our bacon and feta cheese. You do wanna serve it right away.
Okay.
Nice and hot. I think the feta cheese, it's like a must.
It adds something, doesn't it? To how
the
it looks to the eye as well.
Yeah. And you can adjust, let me just rinse my fingers off real quick. You can adjust the seasoning a little bit. You can add some fresh herbs at this point, a little bit of salt and pepper. As a matter of fact, you can add a little bit of fresh pepper on top. I do like my dishes to look beautiful, and I think it does.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And the time requirement for this is really minimal. It's literally, you know, a few minutes, and then you can be doing something else while it's cooking for those 13 minutes. Right. And then you're back again, and then 5 more minutes, and we're ready to go. Perfect for if you've got a house full and want something impressive to put on that table.
It's mostly hands-off. And this is what I love about this recipe. If you're having guests, right, you're not the whole time in your kitchen cooking. You have a little bit of hands-on in the oven, and you can sit with your guests and chit-chat and, you know, do something else. And next thing you know, breakfast is ready, and it looks delicious.
And it looks great.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me grab a clean knife, and we'll serve it up. And you can let me know what you think.
Okay, I will. The smells are always, I wish that we had something where you could like scratch and sniff for this program.
Scratch and sniff, I like that idea. Okay.
Smells delicious.
Can I grab a spatula from that drawer? I think I have good enough.
Okay.
I'm surprised I don't have fresh cilantro to top this with. You know me and my cilantro obsession.
Yeah. It's a favorite.
Yes. I did add cilantro to the recipe on the website, but I guess I forgot. Okay, so the cheese is beautifully melted.
It is. It really is. Thank you.
All you. And there's syrup right here.
Wonderful.
Some fresh berries.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, be careful with the cast iron. It's very, very hot. I'm gonna move it out of the way a little bit. Right there. Okay, and
thank you.
You're welcome.
Here it goes.
Let's try it. I like mine with extra syrup.
And why not? The chef's prerogative.
Okay, let's try it.
That passes the test. I think I'm going to have to use this recipe. I have friends from England coming over in a couple of weeks.
Beautiful.
So they can look forward to some of this for our brunch the next morning.
That's great. It's awesome.
Thank you, Silvia,
as always. You're very welcome. And thank you guys for watching this episode of the Garden and Kitchen Cooking Show. We'll be back next month with a fresh new recipe for you.